Welcome to a new session, and in this session let us understand versioning in the buckets. All right, so we've already seen when we in the previous session when we were discussing about setting up the buckets and uploading the objects, we saw about the version, but we did not enable it. All right, so in this part of the session, let us go ahead and enable the versioning and see. Let's see how the versioning is working. All right, so the first step is to understand that versioning occurs or versioning is set at the bucket level only. All right, okay, let's first check on that one. Let's go to the logo. Let's open the image. All right, this object and bucket properties. You have enabled bucket versioning here, but if you see here, it says bucket test bucket doesn't have bucket versioning enabled. So we recommend that you enable bucket versioning to help protect against unintentionally overwriting or deleting objects. So for that, the first step that we have to do is we have to go to the properties, and under the properties we should have the bucket versioning, and we see this is disabled. Let's go and first enable the bucket versioning. So you see that it is suspended here. All right, so let me enable it now. After enabling bucket versioning, you may need to update your lifecycle rules to manage previous versions of the objects. All right, we'll come back to that later. So let's save the changes. Good. So now I want you to keep in your mind that the objects which were uploaded earlier to the earlier before enabling the version will have something called a null. Okay, we'll check that out in a bit. So at the moment I have only one object. Okay, that's the AWS logo.png. Let me go and add another object now. All right, I'll add the GCP logo. Okay, I put in the GCP logo now. Permissions at the moment, I'll predefined ACLs. I'll just leave it as private at the moment. Okay, I'm not going to change any of the properties. I'll leave it the storage class at standard only. All right, and yes, I'll pretty much leave everything as the same settings. All right, so now the upload has succeeded. All right, so now you see that we have two objects. One is the AWS logo and another one is the GCP logo. But here you see that you have something called show versions here. Okay, previously this used to be as list versions. Now in the current console, they have changed this as show versions. All right, so when you click on this, okay, you see that the version is null here. All right, so why we are seeing the version as null is because you remember this was uploaded before we enable the version. So that's the reason this is showing as null. All right, and this is the new file which we uploaded. All right, let me go and upload this GCP file again. Think of it like an updated another file which has been updated also. So let me put in the GCP logo again and let me upload it. That was uploaded successfully. So you don't see the the logo, GCP logo, which was uploaded the second time here, right? So now let me go and hit on show versions, and you see here you can see the version tree. Okay, so this was the first one that was uploaded, and this was the second one that was uploaded. And as for the first case, which was uploaded before the before the versioning was enabled, we see only null. Let's see what happens here if we are going to upload the same file again. Let me upload another instance, another copy of the same file. That was uploaded successfully. And let me click on show versions. But you see that the new version has a version ID associated with it. All right. So this was the oldest one. But you see here, another point that you need to know, you need to remember is this was the older one, the older file which was created, and this was the latest file created. So the older file is what is showing as the tree file, and the other one is showing as the parent file. All right, or the latest file. Okay, so let's try to upload it once again and see what's happening. Add files. I'll add again both of them, together. Let's see the versioning. All right, so let me click on version, and if you look at the tree, this was the oldest one, then the second instance, and then the third instance of upload, and here, so the oldest one is showing in the bottom line of the tree and the latest one is showing on the top here. All right, so this is how the versioning happens. But what we do until now is the basics. Now, what is it actually doing to protect the data? How is it going to protect our data? All right, let me go and check on this. Okay, and let me click on delete. Okay, so deleting the specified objects cannot be undone, which means this is a permanent delete. All right, so we will have to watch this very carefully. We are not going to delete it now. Okay, I'll just leave it here. Okay, now the next step is I am going to uncheck this, and now I'm going to go and delete the logo. But here you see what it is saying. It is not asking me for a permanent delete, but instead it is saying deleting the specified objects adds delete markers to them only, which means that, let's do this and see. I mean, it's going to be more, it's going to give us a better understanding there. So delete object. So it is saying failed to delete, none, successfully deleted. But let's see whether it is deleted there. It is showing as deleted, but when I click on show versions, you see that the AWS logo image is still available there. What has happened is only the delete marker has been set on that particular object, and every single object beneath that still exists. Okay, so we have not lost the data. The data is still intact there. Right. So now let me go and hit on this, and let me delete the delete marker. All right. Let's see what happens now. That was successful. Coming back, hit the show versions. So I have all my data intact. So that is the power of versioning, and it saves your data from unexpected deletes or intended deletes with malintentions and all that kind of work. So that's all about versioning. Thank you for watching this session, and I'll meet you in the next session.